highlight after highlight after highlight, and now only kids watch highlights. They don't watch the actual basketball game, the purity of the game.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to the Basketball Society podcast. It is good to be back on the show. And if you're not already, subscribe to Basketball Society and stay tapped in for more episodes, more videos, and much more content. So Austin Rivers went off on, I think he was on the Ringer podcast. I've been seeing the clip going around. It's going viral. He's going off about highlight basketball culture, like killing the game and youth basketball and all that. So I wanted to jump into this conversation on this episode of the show. But right now I want to play the Austin Rivers video. So let's watch it, listen to it. You can get a sense of what the conversation is, what this episode is about, and then we'll come back after that and I'll give you my reaction to it.
I'm gonna try to make this as sweet as possible because this really does bother me. I talk about this all the time. When I played in high school, you only got a mixtape if you were like a top tier guy. Back then, like you had to put in work, like consistent work, build a name for yourself to get a mixtape. And it was like an honor to have a Baller's Life mixtape. It was an honor to have a Hoop mixtape. We didn't play to have one though. I didn't go into a game doing something to be on Hoop mixtape. I went into the game to win and just be myself. And Hoop Mixtape and them were there following me. I didn't ask Hoop Mixtape to come follow me. I didn't pay Hoop Mixtape $1. I didn't pay Baller's Life $1. They just followed me because I was that guy. They followed Brad Beal because he was that guy. They followed this guy because he was that guy. That's how it was. The landscape has changed now. Parents are paying these people to come to games. Everyone gets a mixtape. Everyone looks at the camera now and taps on their head when they dunk on someone, and it's all highlight after highlight after highlight, and now only kids watch highlights. They don't watch the actual basketball game, the purity of the game. You know, making a hockey pass, which means making the right pass. Even though you're not going to get an assist, you're driving to make a play so someone else can make the play to get an assist. You know, diving on the floor, talking on defense, playing defense at all, shooting good shots, making the game easy, being efficient with basketball, and scoring off 1 or 2 dribbles rather than 15 dribbles. This whole thing, and I only named like 12. There's 50 of them, has been forgotten about in basketball. And you're seeing it with some of these guys that come to the NBA. And I can name you names, but I'm not going to. That come into the NBA and have all the talent in the world, but like they need to be taught basketball because like this is what basketball is now. Like highlight culture has absolutely, it has killed the game of basketball.
I'm a videographer. I've done videos for people. People have paid me for video. People have asked me for videos and I've said no. I've seen that side of the business of basketball media and highlight culture in basketball. I've been on that side of it. As a trainer and someone who does media content, I'm able to see how, one, this stuff has given players more exposure than ever. 2, it's given players more entitlement than ever. And 3, it's something that has just naturally happened as a result of the way the world is going. When you think about players that are getting exposure through social media and videos and stuff that otherwise wouldn't have, because there's more media, there's more social media, there's more videographers, more content creators. That's a good thing for, like mid-level hoopers or mid to high level or even high level hoopers who might be in areas that wouldn't have been known about, that just wouldn't get the exposure or the attention were it not for the media, whether it's a local videographer or a kid at their school that has a camera and just is starting out and starts posting highlights from their games, whatever that looks like. That's a good thing. So, and that's part of highlight culture. So that's not killing basketball, but I know that's not the essence of what Austin Rivers was really talking about. The essence of what he was talking about is more on the side of like youth basketball. I can understand that. I can get with that. And I can understand how you could blame highlight culture for that, because we're wrapped up in swiping and, watching things in 3 to 7 seconds and watching quick highlights and not diving into, like, absolutely. And look, even though I'm talking about like how more exposure, more media is good for players. I'm not all the way defending highlight culture and saying that it's all the way good. I mean, I feel like it's more good than bad. And again, I understand how you could blame highlight culture on the simple fact of like kids not really working on their game. Like when he goes into the whole pure basketball, like the list of things he's mentioned, like the hockey assist and helping the helper and stuff like that, like just the pure basketball things. When he goes into that, it's like he's saying that because of highlight culture, kids aren't focused on those things. And that, like, he's speaking to like developing a basketball IQ, which highlight culture does kind of discourage in a way. It's all the things he talked about, players getting mixes that don't deserve them. I mean, look, nowadays it's the same thing in terms of like the top players all get mixes. I mean, they get more maybe than they even need, right? Because everyone already knows who they are. Like Austin Rivers was saying, I didn't have to pay Ball is Life or something. Well, the top players, the top high school players still don't have to pay Ball is Life to go. They go for them. That's how they get their content and their numbers. So that, I mean, that's still not a thing, but it's not the well, I don't know if people pay Ball is Life to come make them a mixer. I don't really know like all of like how that works. I mean, maybe they do, but I know that there are way more videographers and people out there than just a Ball is Life or Hoop mixtape that can, you know, that you can DM on Instagram and ask them to come to your game on Thursday night and, you know, make you, and, you know, you pay them to make you a mix. It does encourage a culture of players not working for it.
Oh, it's true. I said it's true.
This is the bottom line. If you play well, if you play on a certain level, you're going to get a mix. I mean, that's the bottom line. So why not put your money and energy towards figuring out how to get better, how to get your game to the point where you don't have to message anybody. You don't have to DM anybody to get a mix. You just have to show up and hoop and do the things that you know that you're supposed to do. That's how I would think you should more so go about it. I know everybody's not going to do that. I know that because there's more opportunity and more access, that you can just go ahead and whatever level you're on, you can get a mix nowadays. There's always going to be good and bad things to everything. I don't think that we can just generalize and say that highlight culture is killing the game. I'm with Austin Rivers on many of the things that he talked about. These are real things. I've experienced them. I've seen them with my own eyes. I'm for some things. I'm against some things. But overall, I find it hard to believe that this is killing the game. It's always going to be important to remember to establish relationships and to do and feel out what makes sense, and to use that energy towards developing the things that matter in basketball, whether you're a player or a member of the media, because there is a lot of weird stuff going on out here and we got to do what makes sense. Thanks for watching this episode of the Basketball Society podcast. For more basketball content, breakdowns, interviews, and episodes of the show, subscribe to Basketball Society and stay tapped in.